Compact sedans are more important than ever, and this Volkswagen Jetta is definitely a game changer, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So here in this country, compact sedans used to be something relegated to the Japanese, then the Koreans jumped in, and now of course you've got some great brands from America. But all along, the Jetta has been there since the 70s, and this Jetta, of course, is going to be bigger and better than ever. Now, when they launched this generation Jetta a couple of years ago, there were 3 complaints by automotive journalists. One was that the 2.5-liter engine felt a little sluggish and outdated. 2, this vehicle needed electronic power steering. 3, an independent rear suspension. Guess what? It's got the IRS, it's got the electronic power steering, and now this engine is being replaced by a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder turbo that gets the same horsepower, more torque, better fuel economy, and better 0 to 60 times. Some critics say that the Jetta styling is a little plain and doesn't quite look up to date. In my opinion, it looks very sophisticated. It looks very mature. And why not? This is a German sedan, and it's the only German compact sedan in the segment. I think they've done a good job, and I think this kind of look is going to be around for many years. So when you own your Jetta 5 years from now, it won't look like something that's very outdated. Volkswagen has clearly made a commitment to turbocharging their engines. So the base engine on the Jetta, the S model, is still going to be a 2-liter 4-cylinder normally aspirated. That's the only 4-cylinder that's normally aspirated in Volkswagen's entire lineup. Every other 4-cylinder gets a turbo, and of course including this 1.8-liter gem. And to think that they took a 2.5-liter and added the turbo and basically reduced it by about a third to a 1.8-liter, and they're not only getting the same horsepower but even more torque and better fuel economy, is really a testament to their engineering marvel. I really like this car, and when you look at the rest of the segment, this thing is so much more fun to drive than anything else. If you're in the market for a compact sedan, there's a good chance fuel economy is high on your list. With the Jetta and the new engine, you get 36 on the highway, 26 in the city for a combined EPA of 30 miles per gallon. It's not the best in the segment, but when you consider 170 horsepower and how fun this vehicle is to drive, it's pretty damn good. That mature, sophisticated styling has been carried to the interior. As you can see, what Volkswagen has done is make everything very plain and simple. You don't get a lot of colors here. You pretty much get black and silver, and I like that. When I sit in this car, I don't feel like I'm driving a $17,000 or $18,000 sedan, but the reality is that's what you are doing. And of course, these seats are easily the best in the segment. They're the most comfortable and the most supportive. And look at this, a manual transmission. I love it. I wish more car companies offered this. Believe it or not, some are completely going away from it. Having just returned from driving the all-new 2014 Toyota Corolla, I can tell you that even though that car is the best-selling, it's certainly not the segment leader in certain things. For example, cargo space. This Jetta has almost 15 cubic feet of space, whereas the Corolla, only 13. So, how does the all-new Jetta drive? It drives great. I love the sound that this turbo makes. The old engine felt sluggish. It was a legitimate complaint. This engine does not feel sluggish. It feels very peppy. Love turbo technology. I'm glad that Volkswagen is committed to it, and I want to see Toyota and Honda and some of these other manufacturers also make a commitment, because that is the best way to get your power up, to maximize fuel economy, and really give drivers what they deserve, which is a car that's fun to drive. Just because you're only spending $18,000 or $19,000 doesn't mean you shouldn't have a little bit of fun. The compact sedan segment is filled with heavyweights, including Corolla and Civic, and those are certainly the safe bets. But what value do you put on fun to drive? When you look at all the vehicles in the segment, I certainly think this vehicle, the Jetta, with the new 1.8-liter turbo, is by far the most fun to drive. And with a starting price of around $18,500, it's hard to ignore this vehicle. I'm going to give it a solid rating of 87. It's not the highest in the segment, but it's right up there, and it should be on your shopping list.